Morning folks. So it was my intention to go straight up to the venue after dropping the kids today. What actually happened was I dropped the kids off at school, and just as they were getting out of the car, just by chance I thought, well, let's check the emails, and I'd got an email through for a confirmation of the business loan that I've been trying to get my hands on. On that one, basically, many of you'll know that hiring the big machines is an expensive thing, and frankly, I needed some more financing placed because I need to hire in the big machine again. So that's what I've been chasing down on an evening when I've been getting back from the venue, and so got some confirmation paperwork through today. That's meant having to have a quick trip home to the printer and printing some stuff off and get it all in a envelope, and now we're just on the way to the post office and drop that off, and then we can get back over to the venue and go and do what I originally intended to do. So the idea on that one is I've got an idea of where I could get my hands on some stone, and it's a bit frosty this morning, or it has been a bit frosty this morning. The sun's starting to come out a little bit now, but managed to have an idea about some stone. We need to check it out and basically collect some of that up and go and get it firmed in and try and get these jumps firmed in, and we'll go from there. So pop to the post office, which I'm sure you don't really want to come in the post office with. It's a bit boring, but we'll pop there and then we'll head on up to work. So P-Town's nice and pretty quiet this morning. Sun's on its way out after a frosty start. Read the weather report and it's supposed to be a clear day, so let's see what we can do with it. So that's the post office done, sorted. It's that application posted off, a bit of a relief. As you'll know, it's quite easy financing these things, but that's phase one of the financing sorted. Still two more to go at, and we'll crack on with those. As I said, doing that kind of thing in an evening time when it's not daylight, apart from times like this morning, we're going to post it off. So we'll head up to the venue now. Last night I was watching a video on Vital that it literally was nothing other than somebody pushing down on suspension of various different bikes and cycling the suspension right through. Excuse me, drank my coffee too fast. Absolutely mesmerising. I don't know why. It shouldn't be. Maybe. I'm not sure. But I found myself staring at it. It's dead good. I hope they do more like it. I hope they do some on downhill bikes and see what that looks like. What else has been going on today? Fairly straightforward morning, apart from a bit of form filling out, some legal jargon. It's been frosty, which is good. I kind of hope it stays that way for at least a few days, but weather forecast wise, it says in the next couple of days it's going to chuck it down. Not much I can do about that. Today's about kind of building the run in and the run out, and then once I've got the run in and out sorted, it really is about continuing that track all the rest of the way down, which I'm really looking forward to doing. I want to see how it progresses and see what sort of, for want of a better phrase, see how it speaks to me, because once you get it cleared out, then there's going to be bits when I go back to test it as a run. There's going to be bits that shout out of, well, maybe it needs something else here. And I think, to be completely honest with you, I think with all of the tracks that there's going to be some sort of evolution process to them, and I'll probably find myself fiddling with them for a long time to come. It's just the way it is. Features will be torn down, rebuilt in different shapes and sizes, and just keep it going. What I do intend to do is to have helmet cams online via YouTube, probably, and I'll make them really readily and easily available, and so that you guys, if I do that first before you've tried the tracks, so that you can watch the helmet cams of them and see which ones might be for you, and at least sort of familiarise yourself with them a little bit, and then keep those updated. So as I change features and put new ones in, just refilm a new helmet cam run of it and update it, and it just keeps everything fresh. Then I know it's not like if you were going to go and do say you're going to go and do a red route somewhere, I know it's not particularly necessary to watch helmet cams of that, and some of you might feel that it's not necessary for my place, but I think there are people out there, and it would be including myself. I think if I was to be a customer of GNAR, I might want to have a watch through. I mean, let me know whether if it's something that is just completely pointless and you're not bothered about it, then shout up. But I think that there might be some people that want to do it. So that's a thing for the future. The other thing is to talk about is I was asked a question about am I going to be putting in any ladder drops? Now, ladder drops are very, very North Shore specific to one area of the world, and in the North Shore of Vancouver there, and they got kind of, there was a craze where they got kind of spread out. Now the construction of a ladder drop is, it's nothing major. Stick a couple of logs over and plank it off, and it's something that I'm completely open to doing. I had thought that maybe it was quite old school, and it had died out for a reason that people weren't bothered about it. But the guy who asked me on Saturday, he's, in fairness, the second person who was asked, do I intend to put any ladder drops in? So again, kind of chucking this one out there to you. If it's something that you want to see, or even just one of, then let us know, and I'll find a suitable place on a suitable track to put one in, and we'll go from there. Right, well, I've just guzzled a sandwich like a total and utter pig, like somebody was going to take it off me. I might as well have been going on the way in. Disgusting. I surprised myself. Anyway, I've got 2 bucket loads of stone up here now. It's a much better day today. Stuff's had time to kind of pack down a little bit, and the cold last night certainly hasn't done it any harm. But there's 2 buckets up here now, and from these 2 buckets it's going to give me a very clear idea of how many trips back and forth I'm going to need to do. So let's have a crack on with that and get a bit of a tidy up. Need some of that behind you to be tidied up as well, and on the way out, so we'll crack on. Well, smashing out a couple of buckets worth of stone has been really helpful. Just getting it all in and tamped in and flattened out. Once you do 2 buckets worth, then that gives you a very clear idea of how many more you need to be fetching up here to give you what you're looking for. So that's a great start. Next job is just to tidy up a bit of the run in, and I've just got to remember from testing to make sure that I catch the bits that I want, so we'll head up there now. Earlier on you might remember that I've tapped a little bit of stone down in there. Something else that I've been doing today is just making a bit of a run in. So just tidying up this front run in, and this is just from what I remembered of doing the testing and things that will help. So up around the corner here, just tidied up a bit of this out. It's out of a corner coming down that way and then up and round. Now what I have discovered, which to be honest is a massive pain, but I'm going to use the machine on it instead. I'm going to use a saw instead of trying to dig it out by hand. I've had a bit of go at digging it out by hand, but it's a total pain. So there's this old tree stump in here. I'm just going to put the saw on it, to be honest. But giving the entrance in just makes life a little bit easier. If I come from up here, what happens is you come from way up on the very top there, almost at the back fence. So you've got some good twists and turns to come down through. From testing that top part, I'm just going to probably leave that natural because it's a good laugh as it is. Then you get down to, you'll probably seen on the helmet cam bit that I did, you get down to this section where it's shooting between these two trees, and then start to pull a right-hander. And all I've done is just tidy things up a little bit in here and start to put a bit of a shape in of what I'm looking for into this right-hander. And then there's going to be a bit of a skip over. Still not sure whether to put a log in there and skip it over with that. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll take you down. One of the things I'm thinking about is once I've cut this annoying or rotten stump out and started to bed this lot in a bit more, is there's this section of log here. There's a long section there, a couple of long sections that I'm going to carry further down and use for stuff further down. But this one stumpy section of log, kind of sticking it into here where it's all a bit, give you a kick around the corner, maybe kind of across this bit, around here somewhere. Anyway, what I'll probably do is toy with the idea, put it in, give it a go, see what it feels like. It would be like a kick round the corner that way, a compression, and then a kick back up the other way. What I'd really like to do is to test this on a smaller bike than mine, and it's obviously very much a free ride bike, and just test it on a smaller one, but I don't have the facility to do that, so we'll keep going. I don't know, to be honest, I was just thinking about the funding this morning and stuff, but to be fair, that's all going to get spent on machines, and I need to spend it on machines more than I do on like an enduro bike. But anyway, that's by the by. We'll crack on with giving this a test through and see what it's like. You know what? If it turns out to be like janky and a pain, that's not what I'm looking for. You know, it's only going to stay in if it actually fits. I think this is going to really help the corner through, especially once that's dug out of the way. It's going to help keep the speed, and then down into here there's a good area for kind of another second compression and getting down and up and over, and then we'll start to doctor the landing area and keep that nice. And then really, because I'm not really doing much with the top section is kind of a rake and run. Literally, that's it. It's been raked through, and the S-bends in as it is now is a good laugh. So I don't really want to tamper too much with that very, very top section. But then this I wanted to be able to hold speed into, so we'll get, now that there's a shape there, we can start and form that a bit more, and then get on with the rest of the run down. As I say, you know, ideally an enduro bike would be great. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get this through. I'm looking forward to getting this one running. This is I don't know if I've even made this clear. This is definitely to be a track ready for opening. It's something that I definitely want to have done and ready. And if it's all just a case of I get it shaped through, then when we get the dig weekends in place, then we can all get up onto this one and get it finished off. There's not really anything to do on get to the chopper. Magic Bus is just supposed to be natural, but it's already been ridden in, to be fair, so that's fairly easy. And so elementary and this one would be the two that I'd want to utilise a dig crew on and get this firmed in and happening. And then, depending on the European funding situation, there might be a new machine of my own coming into here, and I will machine build Beggars Canyon, because it's a big job, and I keep walking through it every now and again just because I'm desperate to ride it. I can see what it's going to be like in my head, so I keep having a kind of a walk through and just thinking about the actual time. And whereas this particular track is fine for hand build, it's just too big of a job to try and hand build Beggars Canyon. So I should get some news about. I did a vlog about. Yeah, I did when I was on the sofa and I was covered in bloody paperwork. I did a vlog about the European funding. So it's towards the end of January is the timeline that I should hear about things, and whether I'm invited to do a full application. So, you know, keep fingers crossed for that, because obviously it'll make a big difference to this place. But yeah, for now, we'll keep on plugging. Thanks very much for your time, folks, and I'll see you soon. It's pretty impressive there. Gotta love Cumbria.